Oh God, what if I end up liking the C5? Jeez, it doesn't bear thinking about, does it? What if I end up saying, actually, this is... Well, no, I did say, in fairness to myself, I said, I think it is a good car. And so far, it is proving to be that way. It feels very honest, this one. The last C5 I have terrible memories of, but very few fixings on this car are broken. Start off the video hating C5s, get to the end of it. Actually, I don't mind those. This hub nut was right. You should have kept this, Ian. You wouldn't have spun this into a ditch sideways, would you? Wouldn't have been going fast enough, to be fair. So, actually, I don't know. I don't know if this has got ESP, then it probably wouldn't have happened anyway, because it sounds like it was a dodgy stretch of tarmac to me. That's a bit iffy, actually. Yeah, you could do this much faster if you wanted. Is there any oil in this pipe? Yes. And there's water in it as well, which is mildly alarming, but that's probably from where I've emptied various other fluids. There's not actually much in there at all. That's a good sign. CECILY's in good shape. Starting to warm to CECILY. This is not a good thing. It's got this huge hoofing great brace. You can see it now. I shall bring you with. Yeah, you've got this whacking great thing here. Look at that. That goes all the way around the front there. It's a strengthening brace. It must be to do with the humongous torque. And I'm guessing that's what this is as well, because there's this thing here. That's normally on an XU engine. That's one of the gearbox mounts. So that, to me, looks like it is. Yeah, that is a brace. Got a lot of bracing. CECILY is obviously a powerhouse. That said, it's a good sign, because it means that's probably something that's been put there for more powerful models, i.e. the 2.2. And yeah, probably put there for more powerful models, such as the 2.2. But that's a good thing for an owner of a 2 litre. Because if you were to beef it up, it looks like it'll take it. Oh my God. The other thing that CECILY was missing early on was the big under tray, which would have helped secure the bumper somewhat if it was there, as well as enhancing her aerodynamic properties. That was missing, as is often the case. However, a replacement has been sourced for £40, brand new. Not genuine, but the plastic it's made of feels quite tough. So that's a result. One gearbox bolt. I need to arrange my bolts into relevant patterns here. Right, so that's that one off there. That one there's done. So it's that one there. To get the dripping LDS from this side now as well, I mean. Ooh, that thread's a little bit unhappy. Got the sump plug on the diff right at the very back there. There may be a drain plug on the gearbox itself, but drain plugs on these Citroens normally have this kind of square arrangement here. So, oh, I've been leaking LDS all over the floor. Still leaking, still going. It's a true Citroen, this. Right. Does that crack off? Oh dear. Please don't break. Jeez. Right. Okay. I haven't forgotten to put the drain tray underneath it. Right, so this is some gearbox oil. And it's coming out the diff, which means it's definitely going to stink. It's going to smell of fish and cat litter. And it's got a magnet on the end of them normally. This one has. I don't think there's too much on it. Normally you get a magnet on the sump plug. Focus, damn you. There is a bit on there. This old cable tie will see how much. Yeah, fair bit. Not horrendous. I've seen much worse. Oh God, it stinks. We'll give that a clean off before that goes back in. So it doesn't hurt just to change the gearbox oil as well. So Cecily's getting a thorough fluids change, that's for sure. No, please, take your time. I've got all day. Don't think there's a drain plug on the actual box. Sometimes there's something on the end. It might be that that one there counts as one. Thing is, if you drained it out of the diff, you've got most of it out anyway. I don't like undoing bolts on gearboxes because sometimes you undo one and you hear a ka-dunk and you think, oh no, what just fell off inside? Just in case this is a drain. I don't think this is. On a BX it is, but they might have just realised they didn't need it. Nope, that's not a drain. Well, we all knew that was going to happen, didn't we? Where's the filler? Which one do you fill it with? Huh. That's going to be interesting. Probably have to measure out the exact amount and pour it in through the breather at the top. Because normally with the gearbox you just fill until it spills back out because the plug is at the determined height the gearbox needs. If you haven't got one, looking at you, Ford. Ford don't have, well, they never used to, I don't know if they have now, but they never used to have drain plugs in anything. Sierra diffs and Type 9 gearboxes, because apparently they are sealed for life. Yes, they are, that's why they break. Wiping all that anti-rust protection goodness. Right, so that's the gearbox oil done. Now, you have to do that now because when you take the drive shafts out, the oil would have come out through the holes where the drive shafts went in, so, and that would have caught you unaware. In fact, it will still leak a little bit when I do that anyway, but... Right. I think I'm going to stop before I bite to eat. Come back out and attack these. I might as well just take the brake discs off as well because we've got new brake discs. Haven't unboxed those yet, but we've got new brake discs to go on, so might as well take all this apart. And then it'll give me a bit more access to the ball joint as well. And once the drive shafts are out, I think we're good to go. Where's the transmission jack? Ah, it's buried. Excellent. Right, so I'm back from my lunch, suitably replenished, some nice cake. And while I was away, it dawned on me that I'm overlooking something. You see, to get the drive shafts out, because the ball joint on a C5 is much like a Xantia and a BX, it's mounted in the upright and faces down, so the taper points downwards. The easiest way to get it out is to use a ball joint splitter tool, one with the pivot and the bolt on it. Put it in from the side, bang, 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 do it up, bang, 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 pops open, job done. However, brake disc gets in the way. So you have to remove the brake disc, which isn't a huge amount of work. It's just unship the caliper, take the carrier off. Sometimes, I mean, on a BX, you don't even need to do that. In fact, on this, you might not need to. Oh, no, you will. Except on this car, that's not going to be the case, is it? Because I've watched videos on this car before on another channel you may have heard of called Hubnut. And on said channel, he had fun and games getting brake discs off. And I'm pretty sure that was on this car. The fact that this is retaining screw here is absolutely mullered. And the two on the other side have been replaced with normal bolts, so they actually stick out a bit. That wouldn't cause the wheel to sit unevenly because there is a void in this particular wheel that misses that, but it's not ideal. I've got to try and get these out, and I don't think they're going to. So I have my persuasion device. Of course, when you try and remove these bolts, the whole disc will try and turn. There is a way around this. So I'm going to try and do that, which means the disc is going to try and go that way. So I just put my screwdriver in the vent. Job done. I don't think it'll work. I think it'll... There you go. See, it's locked against there. Unlucky if you've got solid. But I don't think this is going to undo anyway. So... Oh, no. Cecily! Oh, good girl. Well, that's the one that isn't mullered. Oh, good girl. Right. I don't think this is going to work because there isn't much left of that one. That one's still got the sort of star-shaped drive left in it. That one is just round. That one, it almost looks like it was an Allen key that is rounded off. An Allen key socket rather than a Torx, but... Yeah, I'm not really convinced about that. Being that hammering in something with a hammer is generally regarded as a thing as a little bit butcherish. Not so with a stuck bolt, because sometimes the shock of the hammer hitting it is enough to unstick the bolt. But this is not going to work, I'm pretty sure of that. What is happening? What is happening? What's going on? How's that just happened? Next on Up and Down, man falls in love with car that he hates. It's a fine line between love and hate, isn't there? Okay, well, being that it's completely caught me by surprise, I can run ahead a little. So I've got the one retaining bolt. Oh no, the two retaining bolts for the brake discs, brake caliper even. Now you can't just compress the cylinder on these, the piston rather, because the handbrake works on the front wheels. So it can be a bit of a fight to get them off, but generally a little bit of wiggle like that. Oh, that was the warning wire. Oh. Actually rusty. He's got new pads and discs for it. I just haven't unboxed them yet. That wire is now broken. You can't really bend them back too far because you don't want to stress the hose out. But best thing to use in this situation is reusable cable ties. I just need to find somewhere. Oh, okay, I'm going to need both of my reusable cable ties. Daisy chained together. Lift that up there. There we go. Yeah. And then we got, oh joy. Take the pads out. Which almost look like they're in the wrong way round. They're not. Yeah, that's going to be fun getting that caliper carrier off. The pads aren't too bad. Bit of meat left on there. A little bit crusty. Again, we have new. Sliders are free and moving, that's good. So now I've got to try and get that. Did I leave the key in the ignition? I did. Result. I've got to try and undo these Torx drive, caliper, carrier, retaining bolts. And I can guarantee, will I be able to find the right size? It's not that one. It's a pain because that was my impact socket. And I wanted to use the impact socket. Yeah, I'm going to have to use the normal one. Please don't break, I've only got one of these. This is T55. That's the size. I'm not playing battleships. It's not going to work. God bloody. I've only got a tiny little ratchet on, that's the problem. But oh, no. Hey, that's not bad at all. Do you know, I haven't had to use a 1/2-inch socket yet, apart from the ones on the airline. They don't count. Right, what I am going to do, in my tools of persuasion drawer, I have an extra persuading lever, which I made. I use the term made fairly loosely, it's just a bit of aluminium tube with a bit of tape on here. That turns this into a breaker bar, but it means I can put on a bit of torque, but without stressing it. I can just gently, like that, just, there you go, see? But I wouldn't have done that if it was really, really tight, because it would have just snapped the socket. Well, Cecily, I take my hat off to you. Oh, I've managed to put that cable tie around. Oh, well, they've got strap return pipes like a BX. Running in the family. Level 42. There we go. So, caliper carrier off. That is the bit the caliper bolts into. And the bit the pads sit in. Now I shall just put those retaining bolts back in the hub just so I don't lose them. I'll give them a quick clean up and a bit of thread lock when they go back in. And now, in theory, that should. Yep, there we go. Making it reflect. Look. That's been on there a while. Ah, okay. Now, yes, I overlooked something. This clever little dust shield's in the way, so I can't actually do what I wanted to do with the ball joint. But, I mean, the disc had to come off anyway, because I've got new ones to go on. CV boot's looking a little on the perished side. Not as a MOT failure or anything like that, but it's not. The thing is, that's the original. That's the original Gator, the original type, I think. And they're good. Anything I buy aftermarket now won't be as good as that. What we could do, if we go on a, let's go and check the MOT history on this car, because it turns out it's got an MOT advisory on something like a ball joint or a bush or whatever. Will you do that while we're here? Oh, I've gone to look at the reg number and it's not on the front anymore. There it is. Right, so she is tax MOT'd. It passed in January, but it had failed initially. So it failed on the hazards not working. The hazard warning switch will not switch off. Near side rear stop lamp, near side front position lamp, side light basically, and a number plate lamp. So three bulbs and the hazard switch. Advisories: rear disc brakes worn, we know that. Rear exhaust pipe corroded, we know that. Offside rear suspension pump damp. Pump? This is what you have to deal with, honestly. Pump. Right, it's the cylinder. The strut, if you like. Near side front track rod end ball joint has slight play. Does it now? Interesting. Right, okay. And so does the offside. Rear fuel tank strap rusty corroded. Knew about that one. Near side front under tray not fully secure. Fully secure. It wasn't. Well, maybe it was there. Maybe it came off. Front number plate deteriorated. Yeah, we know that. So we didn't know about the track rod ends. That was actually on the failure. If I look at the pass with advisories, were they changed? No, they were not. It needs new outer track rod ends. well, there aren't any other track rod ends, are there? The end, that's the whole point. Yeah, so that's these bad boys here. I wonder if the new owner has been proactive, because he has ordered a lot of stuff. Maybe he's gone and looked at that himself. Well, we can look at that later. But there's nothing else in the way. So what I need to do is hope that I can get this lower ball joint undone, the nut, and then pop it without having to use the tool. Because to use the tool, I'm going to have to, well, I can't take the shield off, because brilliantly, the shield is sandwiched between the ball joint and the upright. So the thing I want to get to, I have to remove to get to this, which I want to remove to get to the thing I have to remove to get to it. Right, so what size is this then? This would be quite big actually. Should we have a pop at a 21? Of course it is. 21, although I'm going to need a deep 21. And I don't think I have a deep 21. No, no. No, we're there we go, let's get you off. I don't want to go off all the way. Again, we've got a bit of a mucky thread here, so let's do the same trick. Off a bit to clear the threads, back on a bit, then a bit of that, and then do the same again. Even get a bit inside there as well. Thread's mint inside where the nut was, so it's all right. It's just don't want to muller it, because these are a pain to change. And oh, compressor's cut in. You might want some new nuts here. There you go. It's quite hot. Now if I'm very lucky, okay, we definitely need a new nut, because there's no nylock left on that. It should resist. A little plastic nylon-y bit in the end's gone. Oh, that means I can use it for other things at least. That's now just a normal nut. It also doesn't matter if I muller it, trying to get it off. So I'm hoping maybe a couple of sharp taps underneath might be enough. It's very unlikely, because that would be too easy. That said, Cecily has played ball. Oh. That change of pitch would indicate that it has indeed broken, but the suspension was on droop, so that should be... Oh, okay. For some reason it's gone on to high. Why would it do that? I specifically put it on droop. Does that mean this is actually... Oh, it has it? No, I don't think it has. I need wood. Gonna be one of them, isn't it? It appears we are at a bit of an impasse. Yeah, that's not wanting to come out. That's properly in there. So it's tool time. Now what I will do, I think, is I will remove the track rod end, but it appears that parts of the track rod end are removing itself. I shall remove this because, yeah, if it's going to be removed anyway, I might as well give myself a bit more freedom of movement. And if this one is reluctant to come undone, I can get a bit more medieval with it. Because this one is going in bin. It got hot. Right, first go. Second go. Hey! Oh yeah, wow, that is knackered. Right. Oh, the little dust shield as well. Look. Oh god, yeah. Right. So now I can freely turn this. That hopefully enough to engage my special tool. No, one of them. So I simply insert the tool. Where's my hammer? I might kill the gator on it doing this, which is collateral damage. And not doing much good to this, but unfortunately I don't have much choice. So yeah, you've got two ways of doing it. You can just crank this up as much as you want, but I think the proper way to do it is to do it up until there's a bit of tension on it and then hit it with a hammer. And then the shock is supposed to break the taper. Try it. Oh god. My god, that is in there. That is really in there. I'm thinking about going and get goggles on in a minute. Bloody hell! Cecily. Perfectly calm. Completely planned for that. That's for me calling her ugly, isn't it? So I'll get him, I'll lull him into a false sense of security. I'll be all complicit right up until the last minute, and then I'll drop one on him. Right, there we go. That ball joint ain't exactly tight. Oh, it's got play in it. It wouldn't surprise me that it has got play in it and that the MOT didn't pick it up, because a lot of the MOT stations put these cars on high when they do the MOT. That's just wrong. You're just not supposed to do that at all. If you put it on high, everything goes rigid and tense and you won't feel any play in anything. Look at that. That's worse than the track rod end. That's hanging out. Oh joy. And I've got shards of metal in my finger now. Oh, I love it when this happens. The next thing we have to do is remove a component which was used back on the BX and is still used on this, which is nice to see. It's this here, I shall zoom in so you can observe the lights. So yes, there's no nylock here, all you have is this gargantuan spring clip and that locking cover, and it goes through, basically converts. Ow! Oh, there is metal stuck in my finger. I can feel. Oh yeah, there it is. I'm just going to sort that out. Yeah, so there's this thing, castellated nut cover, I should say, and then that goes through it, so that locks the nut in whatever position the nut's in. The nut itself, if it is the same as a BX1, and it certainly looks it, will be a 35mm. Would you believe it? I have a 35mm socket for this exact occasion. Yep, 35. People are watching this and they're going, oh my god, I can't believe you haven't undone that first before you took the brakes off. How are you going to get that undone? Nope. Although, I needed to... like that. So, very simple, it's just pull that out, pull that out, and drive shaft, big fat drive shaft as well. Right, I'm going to do the next side, but before I do, I'm going to get this metal out of my thumb.